Hello. Um, I'm now going to record Chumash Rashi for today, Tuesday, Parshas Tzav, and we'll start from Shlishi. It's a big piece. I don't think I'll get to Revi, but tomorrow's piece is shorter, so hopefully whatever I don't complete today, we'll complete tomorrow. Perik Zayin Pasuk Yud Aleph. This is the law of a korban shlomim asher yakrav l'Hashem, that a person may bring to Hashem. Im al toida yakrivenu, if he brings this shlomim as a korban of thanks. Korban toida is a subcategory of a korban shlomim. Behikriv, you must bring al zevach toida together with the korban toida, chalois, matzos, blulais bashemen, thick. Matzos meaning unleavened. It can be called matzah even if it's thick. It's thick, unleavened loaves that are mixed with oil, urikike matzos, and flat wafers like we have matzos that are meshuchim bashaman, coated in oil, besoilus murbeches, and boiled flour, which also was made into unleavened cakes, and chalois blulois bashaman. These were thick ones mixed with oil. Rashi. Imal toida yakrivenu, if the reason for the shlomim is because it's a korban of thanks. Imal dvar hoido al neis shenasalo, if it's because of thanks for a miracle that happened to him. K'gon yord ayam, somebody who crossed the sea safely. Halchem midbariyas, people who crossed the desert. V'chavushe beis asurim, people who were in jail and their life was in danger and they got out. V'choylosh in his trapa, somebody was sick and his life was in danger and he was healed. Shein tzrichen lahaydas, they need to thank God. Shekosov b'hen, that it's written in Tehillim, Perik Kuv Zayin, Yodu Hashem chazdoi v'nifloisav livnei adam. They thank Hashem for His kindness and for His wonders to man. B'yizbuchu zivchei toida, and they sacrifice sacrifices of a korban toida. Im alachas me'ela, if for one of these four causes, nodar shlomim alalu, that's why man promised to bring the shlomim. Shalmei toida hein, it's a shlomim of thanks. Utunois lechem ha'amur be'inyan, and along with the animal, there is a bread requirement, which we will learn about in this subject. Be'enan acholim el yom v'layla, and it's eaten only for one day and a night, k'may shemafurish kan, as it will be explained here. A toida is nechal, is eaten l'yom v'layla. Be'ikriv al zevach ha'toida, and along with the korban of the toida, the animal, arba mini lechem, four kinds of lechem: chalois, thick ones; rekik, and flat ones; revucha, flour that's boiled before it's baked. Those are shloisha mine matzah. Those are three kinds that are unleavened. Uksiv, and it's written al chalas lechem chametz. There's a fourth kind, which is loaves of chametz. It's actually chametz. It's an exception. B'chol min v'min eser chalois, and every one of these kinds was made into 10 patties. Kach mefurish b'menachos. That's how it's explained in menachos. The shiur on the amount of flour that was used was chomesh so in Yerushalmiyos shein sheish midbariyos. Let me explain. In the midbar, the amount of flour used for these four kinds, and if there's 10 of each, then it's 40 loaves. So in the midbar, they used 6 sa'ah. 6 sa'ah. What was called 6 sa'ah in the midbar was called 5 sa'ah in Yerushalayim, because in Yerushalayim they enlarged the sa'ah, that the sa'ah was now 1.2. So if before every sa'ah was a 1 and it took 6 sa'ah to provide the flour for all these breads, then in Yerushalayim you didn't have to bring 6, you only had to bring 5 sa'ah, but the sa'ah was bigger. Each sa'ah was 1.2, and 5 times 1.2 equals 6. So it's the same amount, except that in Midbar was called 6 and Yerushalayim was called 5. Now, in the Midbar it was 6 sa'ah. Let it be known that 3 sa'ah makes 1 ephah. So 6 sa'ah makes 2 ephah. It's also common sense that every ephah is 10/10ths of an ephah. So 2 ephah is 20/10ths of an ephah. That's what Rashi means. Esrim isarim, 20/10ths. Usually a mincha was 1/10 of an ephah, but here in the midbar there was 6 sa'ah. Each 3 sa'ah makes 1 ephah, and every ephah has 10/10ths of an ephah. If you had 6 sa'ah, it makes 2 ephah, and 2 ephah is 20/10ths. It's 20 times the size of a regular mincha. Murbeches is lechem cholad b'roischen kol tzarcha. It's bread that was boiled in hot water, all that it needed. Now, Pasuk Yud Gimel is al chalas lechem chametz. This is the fourth kind, with loaves of chametz bread. Yaakov karbano, he shall bring this korban toda, al zevach toda shlamav, together with the korban of a toda of shlamim. Yaakov karbano al zevach, he brings these breads along with the korban, with the animal. Magid, this teaches you, she'ena lechem kadosh, kedusha saguf. The bread does not become sanctified, a physical sanctity, li posel, that now this bread will become disqualified, biyotze, if it goes out of the mikdash. Utvul yom, or actually it goes out of Yerushalayim. Utvul yom, or if a person went to the mikveh but he didn't have nightfall yet, he also, if he touches the bread, would disqualify it. Or v'lotzes lachulin b'pidyon, and once it has physical kedusha, you can't exchange it for cash. So when is that moment that the bread becomes physically kodesh, that you can't take it out of Yerushalayim anymore? If a tvul yom touches it, he makes it pasul, or you no longer can redeem it for cash. Ad sheyishchat hazevach. When you slaughter the animal, the slaughtering of the animal sanctifies the 40 breads physically. And now one of each of these four kinds should be given an offering to Hashem. How do you offer it to Hashem? The kohen who throws the blood of the shlamim, he gets one out of each 10 of these four kinds of breads. Echad mikol korban, Rashi says, lechem echad mikol min min. One bread from each type. Yitol truma lakohen is given as an offering to the kohen, ha'oved avodah sai, who does the service of the korban. Ba'ashar, and the other 9 out of 10 are nechal lebalim, get eaten by the owner. Ubasar lebalim, the meat of the animal gets eaten by the owner. Chutz, except michaza v'shaik sheba, except for the chest and the front right leg. Kemoshe mefurish lemata, as soon it will be explained. Tenufas chaza v'shaik v'shlamim, that the chest and the front right leg are waved of a korban shlamim, and after waving, it's the kain who receives it. And the taida kriya shlamim, as we said, the taida is a form of a shlamim. So the kain gets the chest and the front right leg, and 1 out of 10 of each of the 4 types of bread. Pasuk tezvav ubasar zevach taida shlamav, the meat of this korban shlamim. B'yom karbana ye'achel, you eat it on the day that the korban is brought. Lo yaniach mimenu ad boker, you're not allowed to leave it to the following morning. Rashi, there are a lot of words here. It could have said ubisoro, and its flesh. We know what we're talking about. Yet it says ubisar, and the meat, zevach, of the sacrifice, of todas, shlama, of the todah of shlamim. Yeshkan ribuyim harbe, there are many extra words here. The rabbi is to include that chatas, and an osham, and an ayil nazir, the ram that a nazir brings upon completion of his naziris. Hey, v'chagigas arba asar, and a special korban chagiga that would be brought next Tuesday, Erev Pesach, Wednesday. Next Wednesday, Erev Pesach, because you brought a chagiga on Erev Pesach, so that when you eat the korban Pesach at the Seder night, you're not eating it out of hunger. You had a chagiga to eat first. So all these korbanos, chatas, asham, the ram of the nazir who completes his naziris, and the special chagiga of the 14th of Nisan, she'enachalim liyan v'layla, they also get eaten like a toda for 1 day and 1 night. B'yom karbano ye'achel, on the day the korban is brought, it shall be eaten. Ukizman besara, zman lachma, the same time you get for eating the meat is the time you get to eat the bread. Lo yaniach mimenu ad boker, you're not allowed to leave it to the following morning. Aval ochelu kol halayla, but you could eat it a whole night, a day and a whole night. In kain lama amru ad chatzais. So why did the Chachamim say to only eat the korban until midnight? Kedei laharchik adam minhu aveira, to distance a person from sin. So they said the deadline is midnight. Pasuk tes zayin. In neder einedava zevach korbanai. What about if the shlamim is not for a korban taida? It's just because he said, he made a neder, I shall bring a shlamim. Or he said to an animal, or about an animal, this shall be my shlamim. Then b'yom ka'akriva yezivcha yachel, on the day that you sacrifice that korban may be eaten, umi machros, and it can be eaten on the second day. You see, v'hanoisar mimanu, whatever is left at the end of the first day, ye'achel may be eaten on the second day, because a shlamim can be eaten for a day, a night, and the following day, up to, but not including the second night. In Neder Ein Davar, Rashi says, Shaloh Havio Al Haidah Shal Neis. He didn't bring it because he was grateful for a miracle. Ein Tuna Lechem, it has no bread. V'necheles L'shnei Yamim. This one is eaten for 2 days. K'may Shemafurish Be'inyan, as is explained in this topic. Umi Machras, and the following day. V'hanaiser Mimanu Barishon, whatever is left after the first day, Ye'ochel can be eaten on the second. The Vav Zu, this Vav Yiserahi, is superfluous. It could have said Naisar Mimanu. V'yesh kamaya harbe mikra. There are many times that a vav is just an added letter. Kamaya va'ela v'nei tzivain, and these are the sons of tzivain. V'aya v'ana, and aya was and anna was. The first vav, you didn't have to say and aya was. Aya and anna. Or teis v'kedesh utzva mirmas. So it could have said teis kedesh utzva mirmas. Instead it says an extra vav. It's just a form of language. Whatever is left from the korban shlomim until the third morning, it must be burnt in fire. Now be very careful with the next pasuk, because I'm going to translate it not the way it would seem when you read the pasuk simply. And if you had in mind that you were going to eat from the meat of the korban shlomim on the third day, and when did you have this in mind? Either during the shechita, or during the Kabbalah, the reception of the blood, or during the halacha, walking the blood to the mizbeach, or during the throwing of the blood. You had in mind during any of those 4 avodas that it's going to be eaten on the third day. Lo yiratza, the korban will not be accepted for you. Hamakriv, said the one who brought this korban, lo yichashav lo, won't get credited for it. Pigul here, the word for this disqualified korban is pigul. V'hanefesh ha'echeles mimenu, and anybody who eats from this korban, even if he tries now to eat it at the right time, Avon Tisa carries a sin, and he's chayiv karet. Rashi explains what I just told you. V'im he'ochel ye'ochel, Rashi says, b'mechashev, it's he thought, b'shchita, during the slaughter, la'achlei, to eat it, b'shlishi, on the third day, ha'kasuv medaber. That's what the pasuk is talking about. You see, because yochel, I would think maybe I should read the pasuk simply. Im ochel mimenu b'shlishi. Maybe if you ate from it on the third day, you ate from it past its time, yipasel imafreya. Maybe it becomes disqualified retroactively. Talmud Lomar, so the pasuk says no. Hamakriv aisai lo yachashev. When you're bringing it, it won't be considered to your credit. B'shas hakravu nifsel. It's at the time of bringing the korban that it becomes disqualified. Veinu nifsel. It's not going to become disqualified by shlishi later on the third day. V'chein pirusho, and the way the pasuk should be explained is the way I did it when I read the Chumash. B'shas hakravasa, the time of bringing the korban during any of the 4 services: shchita, Kabbalah, halacha, or zrika, slaughtering, receiving the blood in a utensil, walking it to the mizbeach, or throwing it. Lo ta'aleh zot b'machshava. You should not have this bad intention. V'mchishav, and if you did have that intention, pigul, it's called pigul. V'anefesh ha'echeles mimenu. Anybody who eats from it, afilu b'toch hazman, even within the right time, avon atisa, carries a sin, and he's chayiv karet. Pasuk Yud Tes. V'abasar, what about the meat of a korban? Asher yiga b'chol tamei, that touches anything that's tamei. Lo ye'achal, you may not eat it. Bo'esh yisarv, it must be burnt in fire. V'habasar, but regular meat of a good korban, kol tor yachal basar. Anybody who's tor is welcome to eat that meat. Rashi, v'habasar shel kodesh shlomim. I'll give you an example. Meat of a shlomim, let's say. Asher yiga b'chol tamei, that touches anything that's tamei. So now the meat of the korban became tamei. Lo ye'achal, you may not eat it. But vehabasar, but all good meat may be eaten. The rabbis, it's coming to include aver, a limb of a korban sheyatsa miktsasei. Let's say it's kachim kalim that can be eaten in Yerushalayim. Part of the limb went outside of the wall of Jerusalem, so the part that went out is disqualified. But shapnimi muter, the part that stayed inside, is still valid. Kol tahar yachal basar. Anybody who is pure and not tamei can eat meat of a korban. Ma Talmud Lama, what is the pasuk teaching you? Because Lefisha Namar, the pasuk says, "V'dam zivachecha yishafech," the blood of your korban shall be spilt. V'abasar teichal, and the meat you shall eat. Yochal, I could think, lo ye'achlu shlamim, that a shlamim may not be eaten ela balim, only the one whose korban's blood has been spilled, only the owner. The kach Namar, therefore it says, kol tohar yachal basar. Anybody who's pure can eat it. The owner owns it, but he can share it with anybody. Pasuk chaf. But a person who eats meat from a shlamim, asher l'Hashem, which is God's shlamim, v'tum osay olav, and the man is tamei, then v'nichras ha'nefesh shehi me'amel. The person who eats a korban while the person who's eating it, is tamei, is chayiv karet, premature death. B'tumasei alav, Rashi explains, B'tumas haguf hakasev v'daber. The pasuk is talking where you are physically tamei. Avol tor, but a man who's physically tor, she'achal asatame, that ate meat or any part of a korban that the korban is tamei, eino onish karis. That's not punishable by premature death. Ela be'azhara. That is a simple prohibition. Ba'basar asher yiga b'chol tamei. The meat that touches anything tamei may not be eaten. Now, what about ba'azharas tamei she'achal asator? Where is the Torah's prohibition? Here it says whoever eats it is chayv karet. But where's the prohibition for a tamei man that eats kadoshim that are tahar? Eina mefareshes b'Torah. The prohibition is not clear in the Torah. El chachamim lamdua b'gzer shava. The chachamim in Masechet Makot Daf Yudalet Amid Beis learn it from gzer shava. The same way that the Torah prohibits a tamei man to go into the mikdash, and there it says the word tumato. Here the Torah prohibits a man who's tamei to eat kodshim, and it says the word tumato. So the same way there's a prohibition written there regarding entering the mikdash b'tumah, that now transfers to here that there's a prohibition for eating kodshim when you are tamei. Rashi says, Sholish krisais amuras ba'echle kadashim b'tumah saguf. The Torah actually says 3 times that if people that are tamei eat kadashim, they're chayiv karet. The Darshim Rabbi Seinu b'Shvuos, and the Gemara in Masechta Shvuos, Daf Zayin Amid Aleph, makes a drasha to explain. Achas leklal, one to tell you generally that when you eat kodshim, when you are tamei, you're chayiv kares. V'achas leprat, and one becomes very specific, talking about a korban shlamim, to tell you that you're only chayiv karet when you eat a korban when you're tamei. But if you eat, let's say, property that belongs to the Beis Hamikdash when you're tamei, it's not karet, because klal uprat. It's a klal uprat to klal uprat to klal, iatadon elakena prat. The prat was a shlomim. A shlomim is kadoshim of korbanot, and only when you eat something like that, when your body is tamei, are you chayiv karet. Ba'achas lulamed al korban oile v'yored shalei nemar ella al tumas mikdash v'kadasha. Back in Vayikra, you remember there was an oile v'yored. A man was tamei, and then it said he was guilty. Didn't say what he was guilty about. So therefore, this extra pasuk that gives us karet, that teaches us kares for eating kodshim when you're tamei, teaches me that case in Vayikra, where you were chayiv a korban olav yored because you were tamei and you were guilty, the guilt was that you were tamei and you ate kadashim. V'abasar kol tor yochal basar, and the meat, anybody that's tor can eat meat. Klomer kol masha asarti lo b'chatas v'asham. What I prohibited regarding chatas v'asham shem yotzu chutz l'kloim asurim. Chatas v'asham is kotche kadashim and becomes disqualified when it exits from the courtyard of the Mishkan or Mikdash. K'maisha kosuv, as it was written b'chatzar oil moed yachlua, it must be eaten in the courtyard of the oil moed. B'basar zeh, when it's a shlomim, ani omer l'chai, I say to you, kol tor, as long as you're tor, yochel basar, you can eat it afilu b'chol ir, throughout the city. So kotche kadashim have to be eaten in the courtyard of the Mishkan or Mikdash, but kotchim kalim can be eaten anywhere in Yerushalayim. Pasuk Chaf Aleph, Nefesh Kitiga B'chol Tamei, a person that touches anything that's Tamei, B'tumas Adam, either a Tamei man or Behema Tameya, or an animal that's Tamei, B'chol Sheket's Tamei, any crawling thing, any disgusting thing that's Tamei, and then after being Tamei, V'achal Mipsar Zevach Shlom Asher Hashem, if he eats from a korban shlomim that is to God, the Nichras HaNefesh Heimi Ameho, that person is Chayiv Koris. So that's the second case where the Torah says, you're Chayiv Koret, if you eat kodshim b'tumas haguf when you are tamei, and here it says shlomim, and becomes the model that you're only chayiv when you eat a korban meat, but not if you eat something which belongs to hegdish in general. So we'll stop here, and we're up to Perik Zayin Pasik Chaf Bet, and we'll continue tomorrow and try to catch up a little bit. Have a wonderful day, and be matzliach in everything you do, and your families should stay safe and healthy.